So welcome to my first video. In this series, what I'm going to try to do is introduce the Japanese arcade game Footista to an English audience. So what Footista is, the best way I can describe it is that it's a football manager game mixed with Pokemon collectible cards mixed with Pro Evolution. So what I'm trying to show you here is the types of cards and types of players that I'm going to be using for this demonstration match. The cards are very reflective, which is why I've had to get quite close to them, otherwise you can't actually see the picture because the light reflects off them. So to activate the game, you have to have one of these cards. You scan the card and that will access your Footista account with all your saved information. Here you go, you can see mine here. And then it will ask you to pay. It's 100 yen for one game. And the game here is loading up, so it's going to give you some information about some promotional things that are going on at the moment. So the way it works is you get specific cards which represent specific players. Obviously the better the player, the better skills they have, the better stats they have. And the idea is to just create a team, and you play in various types of match forms, and you got to win. There is, for online games, there is a 1,600 point limit, so each card has a points value and you have to build a team within the confines of the 1,600 points. So obviously better players are going to cost more than weaker players, and you've got to try and come up with a compromise that works for your sort of playing style. So we're going to have a look at the menu here. So this is leagues, offline cup games. You have ranked matches, which is online leagues. This is to allow you to play against a friend. Card repair, to fix any damaged cards that get printed, read the manuals, and then back to offline leagues. So we're going to go to offline cups. There's various different seasons that are available. You can see that I've completed a fair few of them. But I'm interested in season 7 because there's a Diwa Origi card that I want to win, so we're going to continue with this one. I haven't started the Merseyside Cup, so we're going to go into that one. And on this screen we can set up the formation, so you can choose set formations or you can choose a freestyle formation. I'm going to go with the freestyle one. Basically the difference is if you have a set formation, you can only play players in those designated positions, but you generate skill points much faster. If you have a freeform position, you can play players wherever you want without restriction, but you generate points a lot slower. So this screen is called the Scout screen. What I'm going to do here is rank some of my cards up. So basically the more you play cards, they generate, you can level them up after they've got enough experience points, which is what I'm doing here. But once they've got enough experience points, you pay 100 yen and it will give them a permanent stat increase, so that player is now much stronger, and it will issue you a new card. So he's moved from a world class to a world star player. They have different ranks depending on their star value. And the same thing's going to happen here for Morata. Pay 100 yen and he's going to move from world class, you can see on the left, 4-star, permanent stat increase. It's now a 5-star card, a world star, and it's going to issue me a new card that represents the stat increased player. It's worth noting that once you increase their stats, you can't use the weaker card, you have to use the stronger card, but their point value doesn't change. And here I'm just showing some of the older cards from the previous generation, which is called WCCF, which you can convert from the menu and use them in the newer game. They have a slightly different art style, but you have access to some more obscure players doing it this way. So in the Scout screen here, this is what we would call a gacha mechanic in Japan. It's basically a loot box system, which is probably the worst part of this. So to get the better cards you have to pay 100 yen. So I've actually been quite lucky here. I've actually unlocked Luis Suarez, which is, this won't happen to everybody. I was just very fortunate on this occasion. So he's gone from a world class, he's actually a world star player. He's quite a rare card. Yeah, so 100 yen and I've unlocked that card, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pay another 100 yen just to demonstrate that you don't always get the best cards. So here we go, I'm going to pop in another 100 yen. And you notice the first time the scout, when he came in, he shook the clipboard. This time he didn't do that. That's usually an indication of whether you've got a good card or a bad card. And in this case, he's only a domestic class, which is only, I think, 2, 3 star, maybe 2 star. But I don't want him, so what I'm going to do is ticket him, which basically means I can have another scout free of charge. So basically, if you don't want the card, you get another chance. Okay, and this final screen here is you're finally setting up your team. So now you can see the condition and the morale of all your players. So you can make changes from your sub bench here to field your strongest team. And you can also set up your passing channels, which is what I'm doing here. Or they call it hotline in the game. And basically, if you hold down the up arrow on the left side of the controller, your players will try to pass towards the 3 players that are selected or along those lines. You can also activate players' skills, so Maradona had a through ball skill and Trezeguet had a target man skill. So we're actually about to get into the match now, so I'm going to end this video here, and in the next video we're going to have a look at the game.